Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight live stream all about the new moon in Taurus, which is happening in about a few hours, I believe. So yeah, in about 14 hours from now. No, actually, uh, it already happened. It already, oh my God, what am I looking at? Hold on a second. Yeah, correct. In about 14, 15 hours, it's happening. So, with that said, again, welcome to the stream. What we're going to do tonight, it's tarot reading for each star sign. I'm going to start up with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. But before that, the never-aging one, which is going to be the collective reading. Now, if you have paid attention to the thumbnail, you would have saw 5 cards there. Now, the first one, that will be the 9 of, hold on a second. I need to kind of like track the camera, so I make sure that you do know and that you do see the cards. So the first one, 9 of Cups, followed by the second card here, which is the Queen of Cups. Moving on next, we do have the 7 of Wands, followed by the 10 of Pentacles. And the final one, that will be the Ace of Wands. So I drew the cards a few hours ago, and as soon as I looked at them, I had like a message, okay? And the message is like, how can I be more polite saying it? It's like, do you want things to get done well? If you do, you gotta move, damn it. So this new moon in Taurus, it's truly gonna push us into one or another direction. That said, there is going to be a huge stir, whether into our love life or whether into our relationship. But this stir, it will affect primarily those kind of aspects of our lives where we do genuinely feel happy about. Okay, so it's not going to be just a meaningless or a brand new direction. It's going to be something very familiar, rather like in a field which is very familiar. Is going to be in a circumstances that we are very accustomed to as well. And this star will require from us to make a maintenance. Now, that said, we are to be held accountable about certain things, okay? And also will be requested about one or another thing as well, okay? So that said, we are going to quickly understand the things that we do have, like a job, like relationship, like status as well. They are not for granted, and they do have their due. And the due is nigh. It's in the next couple of weeks. Now, as things are going to stir for us, that way they're going to stir for the people around us as well. So we will have a due to someone. Someone is going to have a due to us. And in general, there is going to be that exchange, so to speak. And through that exchange, we all are going to grow a little bit well, some of us in a large scheme of things, or rather like in a large extent that is, we are to grow quite more independent than we are right now. And through that independence, there are going to be very gainful enterprises which are going to open up afterwards, right? Another thing about this new moon in Taurus, it is that there is always going to be a way. So the bigger winners here are going to be those of us which are in kind of like a dead end kind of situation, you know, a situation where they don't see a way out. Well, that way out, it's going to show itself up in the next couple of weeks. It all comes to that: are you going to take it or not? Now remember, a way out doesn't mean something you would like to do, all right? Nonetheless, it's a way out. Now, Nicole, thank you for the 25 US dollars super chat support. Thank you, Nicole, and Yasmin as well. Thank you for the 20 US dollars super chat. Thank you, Yasmin. So, Nicole, you do have an inquiry here about your husband. Now, I need you to be a little bit more specific. You want to know, is your husband, how likely it is your husband to be assigned to the place he's applying for, or you would wish to know, is he gonna have generally, okay, generally a promotion? That is kind of important for me to know. What the hell? A second. All right. And Yasmin as well. Thank you, Yasmin. Right. All right. So like said, there are going to be 12 readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start up with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. Now, in order for you to track down which star sign I'm reading for, you are about to see a glyph, which is coming up on my right-hand side, right there. And one small but very important disclaimer here, okay? What I do is interpret tarot cards, and these are interpretation for the star signs, all right? They are not your personal reading, therefore they will affect you, or rather like it will relate to you in one or another way, but it's not as accurate as a personal reading. Now, if you do want to have a personal reading, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And another way how you can have a personal reading is if you do support the stream and the channel through super chat. That way, at the end of the stream, you're going to have your own reading. Should the super chat carry no inquiry with it, the reading is going to be about the new moon in Taurus, as per the topic of the stream. If you do have an inquiry with it, it's going to be about your inquiry. And should the super chat be 20 US dollars or above, then I'm gonna pick an appropriate. It's not gonna be a card draw, right? It's going to be an appropriate spread according to the topic or your inquiry. So with that said, Aries first. Now the first card for Aries, that will be the Four of Swords, followed by the second card, which is the Eight of Swords. Moving on next, we do have the Ace of Cups. The fourth one, that will be the Eight of Pentacles. And the last one, that will be the Six of Swords. All right, pretty easy interpretation for Aries. If you aren't, currently, you are about to find yourself exactly at the place you need to be, right? And you will recognize that place by its sheer difficulty. I mean, I know that it sounds a bit crazy, right, and counterintuitive, but it's just how those cards stands now. When things get, it's not exactly difficult, more like inappropriate, right? More like the requisite that will be towards you, it will be off the chart by your understandings, so to speak, and by your code of conduct, right? But once you do traverse that particular threshold and you do quote unquote the unthinkable, or it's not unthinkable, many people do it, all right? It's not out of the law, right? Or it's not something that's kind of like is gonna destroy fates and lives and all that. It's just you aren't accustomed currently to do it. Maybe, you know, I'm rocky in astrology, but maybe this time around you have to lay back instead of taking the initiative as Aries, all right? And hold down your horses, which is maybe something unthinkable for you. But alas, once you do traverse that threshold and kind of like you see that things are actually start happening on their own accord, because that's the very big possibility here, that things are going to start resolving themselves for you on your own accord. And many of your concerns and as well issues are going to simply start disappearing from one to another. It's just what those cards here are showing, guys, is that you are trying way too hard, kind of like coming up with always something more, something new, and it's just situation currently, or at least for what those cards are showing, does not require that. It requires peace, for a lack of a better word. So when you reach that point and you start thinking, well, that's kind of way too good to be true. No, it isn't. It's just as good as it is. And it will serve you best if you do kind of enjoy it. Okay. Now it's not a time for a breakthroughs. Now, next couple of weeks for you, it's time for a preparation, right? And planning. Meaning kind of like slow down a pace a little bit. All right, that was Aries. Moving next, we do have Taurus. Hey, Sean, Jen, welcome to the stream. The Magician. Then we do have the King of Wands. Third one, that will be the Ten of Swords. Then we do have the Nine of Swords. Very interesting read here. And the final one, that's going to be very important card. Page of Pentacles. I'm sorry. Page of Pentacles. So very similar to Aries, right? Very similar to Aries, but unlike Aries, where they have walked their path, okay, and they now have to kind of like slow their pace and allow things to develop enough for them to things to follow up with them. For you, Taurus, for what those cards are showing, you are either about to start or you have just started something, right? And now maybe you do have, not maybe, but you are kind of like having a second guess about it. And the next couple of weeks, you're to find yourself on the verge of changing, you know, your kind of like ambition, okay, switching it from one thing to another, which it's not like it's going to be a mistake, but it's going to be a time wasted, okay? Because next couple of weeks, you are to be confirmed of that you are that's what the cards are saying, okay, that you are good enough, right? That you are good enough for the job, that you are good enough for the person you are chasing, for example, that you are good enough for the place you are trying to live, or that you're good enough for the mortgage you're trying to get. It's just next couple of weeks is gonna appear that you are, like I said, a good enough. And the thing it is that, how can I put it into words? Your circumstances are gonna become heated a little bit, and that may kind of like put you off, where you may find yourself trying to find a situation, same situation with easier circumstances. Now, rest assured that is pretty much impossible, okay? And it's just you have it, well, all it takes is commitment, okay? Just pick one thing and commit to it. It's as simple as that. Because for what those cards are showing, once you do commit, it's gonna worth it. Your expectations is, at least by the end of the next couple of weeks, it is to become, or rather like to increase your sovereignty big time. So it's, you are to become more important in your love life or in your business, you know, or in your social circle, wherever those cards are playing out. All right, next we do have Gemini. Six of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, Three of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Two of Wands. So there is a very big chance that we're talking here about a, well, in English there is only one word and it is relationship, but really what those cards are showing here is kind of like communication in order to kind of like fix a relationship, or better said, mend the bridge, right? It's really a mend the bridge. Now, the funny thing is that we do have the Wheel of Fortune. And do you know what the Wheel of Fortune is in those kind of reading, guys? Where, say, you know, well, not say, but that is usually how it goes, you know, that relationship is in between two people, and each single one of them is hoping that the other one is gonna give a call, and therefore no one is giving a call. And for Gemini, I mean, you gotta be the one, okay? I mean, you gotta be the one to give a call. You got to be the one to give a call to your client, or, you know, to your spouse or to a family member, whichever the case, whichever relationship of yours kind of like needs mending a bridge. And for what those cards are showing, there is so much more into it. What I mean is that this was kind of like, how can I put it into words, prematurely severed, kind of like that relationship. And it's just a wasted potential. And if you kind of like try to think of how you can do that, well, pretty simple. Start with the small things. I mean, for example, make your spouse smile. That's gonna do it, at least for the start, but really doesn't take a lot. Okay, just a nice a nice word, right? Or if you are up to it, a nice small present, and everything is gonna fly for you. That's what those cards are showing. But one thing it is that, you know, from the other side, the other person or the organization, if that's, for example, a client, they need to kind of like see you as a support rather than an opposition. So criticism, unless really well supported and constructed with facts, not with what you think, right, but with facts, it's not going to be well appreciated. All right. So if you can't support anything by a fact, but it is a hearsay because that's what you think, better keep it for yourself, because it's going to blow everything open. All right, that was Gemini. Moving next, we do have Cancer. Nine of Wands, Five of Cups, Ace of Wands, Judgment, the Star. Well, let me take a sip here. Hello, Agnes. This is like, guys, it's, how do I go about it? There is when thou may think that there will be better circumstances. This is what I am trying to say. Let's say in the next couple of weeks you are offered a job, right? But you planned to travel. And so you say, well, I'm gonna pass this one, and because the circumstances are kind of like inconvenient for me, so next time when I'm offered the job, then I'm gonna take it. And then next time when you are offered the job, you are making a renovation at home, and then the third time you're offered the job, you kind of like, I don't know, you're not feeling like it, and so on and so forth. And my point here is that, you know, it's like buying a technology. If you are trying to wait for the best out there, you are never gonna buy one. And this is how it comes here as well, that there are never perfect circumstances, and you are gonna learn that firsthand next couple of weeks. And actually you will mobilize. That's what those cards here are showing, right? Because it does look like that whatever the opportunity, right, whatever the opportunity is going to be, you will recognize it not just only as a very profitable one or a gainful one, but also as a problem solver. Now once you take it, for example, your money issues gone, or once you take it, the issue with your broken heart gone, right? And this green light or to go approval, whatever you want to call it, is going to appear at the place where you don't have much of a choice. You do, but they are all with significant compromises. And now the perfect one shows up. You know, the perfect option available shows up. Why would you want to miss it, right? Of course, it will require from you to reshuffle a little bit, kind of like juggle around with your current promises you gave and responsibility and all that. But definitely you can catch up with this breakthrough, and it is a breakthrough for you, Cancer, a huge breakthrough. So don't miss that client, for example, or that job offer, or that offer to start a relationship, because that is also a very possible. In fact, that is the most possible one. Okay, a minute, guys, and then I'm gonna continue with the next 4-star signs. Taco, thank you for the 22 US 22 US dollars super chat support. Thank you, Taco. Well, yeah, I'm at my parents right now, not my place. So that's the reason you are seeing that room. Hold on a second. Hey, Jasmine. Welcome to the stream. All right, going forward, we do have Leo. Three of Wands. Hold on a second, I will tell you. 28 degrees, 26 minutes. Uh, 10 of Wands. The Star card. 9 of Swords. Justice. Pretty easy, pretty easy. And the message for you, Leo, it is that you do have done quite enough already. Okay. And from now on, moving forward, trying to make it better against it's like you are, and you will recognize the situation, because that's, of course, to some is going to be to a bigger extent than the other, Leo. Okay. But the situation now is showing resilience. What I mean is that you're trying to make it better, and it just, it doesn't want to work out. It doesn't want to happen. And that is because, like I said, you have done quite enough already. And trying to proceed forward, it's only put stress, not just only on you, but also on this, on the environment, on the people which are involved in it. Okay. And best is going to be, let me see the fourth card here. Yeah, best is going to be to leave it alone. And do you know how you are going to recognize the situation, guys? You are afraid about it. You are afraid that you are going to lose it. Okay, you are afraid that you are going to lose your job, and that's why you are trying way too hard at your job. You may be afraid that you're going to lose your spouse, and you are trying way too hard there. And by trying way too hard, because one thing can be done, you know, just as much. And from there on, moving forward, uh, trying even further, it's bruising, okay, on the matter. It's enforcing yourself on the matter, right? It's just overkill. It's overkilling. And all that you gotta do is just kind of like calm down. Because if you take the time and look around yourself, you will see that you are actually well established. Okay. And that if you try to pinpoint the responsibilities you have to take, you will see that, I mean, what you are signed for, not what you think you gotta take, that's different thing. Okay. You'll see that you have actually have everything managed, and you just have to chill. That's all you gotta do. Jasmine, thank you for the 20 US dollars. 19.99. Thank you, Jasmine. And down floors 30. Thank you for the 5 US dollars. Thank you. Let me put you guys in the list. At the end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading for the full moon, new moon, I'm sorry, in Taurus, and how it's going to affect you personally. All right, next, Virgo. Well, Shakti, yeah, I mean, now it's time to chill. Uh, Queen of Swords for Virgo. Two of Swords. The Hierophant. King of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. Wow. Next couple of weeks, according to these cards, it is where you press really, really hard. Now, if you have listened to the Leo reading, now yours is completely the opposite. Okay, that is not a week where you slack. That is not the week where you hesitate, even. Okay, there is no more room for hesitation. I mean, according to these cards, you know what you gotta do. I mean, you don't like it, that's given. That doesn't change the fact that it is what you gotta do. And you have to look at the matter in a certain way. Now we do have the Hierophant here, which is at the third position. And do you know what this means, guys? It means that when you have task at hand, if you are thinking of what is going to come up from it, now that's the wrong mentality following the Hierophant philosophy. The Hierophant does things because he does believe in those things, not because they are going to bring gains afterwards. Okay? And so that pretty much speaks that there are going to be steps you will have to take, which nothing is going to come out of them, but they are a predisposition for the breakthrough that is going to come afterwards. Okay? And for that reason, examine your, how can I put it into words? Examine your, yeah, it's examine your beliefs, because there are those that you believe these things has to be done, but when you think about it, you cannot see what is going to come out of them. Well, there are going to be things coming out of them. The very least, people will start trusting you more. That is the very, very least, and they're going to see you more reliable, right? And also more accustomed to them. That's one thing. But also, by doing those seemingly pointless endeavors, you will emancipate yourself with the situation, and the whole situation, whether in your job or whether in your love life, will become much, much more easier. But this is the week, right? The next couple of weeks are the weeks where you have to really press hard and do what you believe in. All right, that's Virgo now. Libra. Temperance, followed by Seven of Pentacles. The Hangman. Eight of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Oh, second. Sherry, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, Sherry. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. Well, for Libra, I really need to know your situation in order to be able to tell you exactly, how these cards relate. Because what they show is that there is a huge disturbance in between the giving and the taking. Okay. And for example, what I'm trying to say is that you are giving a lot in places where you can't take anything from, or you are taking a lot from places you're not giving much into. Okay. And while the latter, it could sounds amazing, it isn't, because it takes away from how can I put it into words, from different flows, and different flows become stuck. You are stuck, for what those cards are showing. So if you're feeling stuck in job or at work, right, that is because there is a disbalance in between the giving and the taking, and the whole situation does require a withdrawal, at least for now, at least for the next couple of weeks. Okay, and examine the aspects, examine the details of the whole thing. All right, if you are feeling stuck in your love life, same thing. All right, it's because, for example, maybe you are giving a lot to a person that doesn't want to give you anything in return, or you are taking a lot from a person and not giving anything in it. And in either case, there is no pleasure in it. Okay, there is just no happiness in the whole thing, and you may feel stuck in your love life. Well, that's the reason why. Okay, and next couple of weeks are the quest of regaining the balance, right? But that will happen only through you changing your perspective on things. So it's quite philosophical couple of weeks for you, Libra. I hope that you're going to get out of the whole thing, with a brand new vision of the life in front of you. All right, next, that will be Scorpio. Two of Swords, Justice, Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands, it's it's literally, I don't have anything to say, because for what those cards are showing is that, well, basically they are saying that the next couple of weeks are going to be very peaceful, and I'm very glad, because the last couple of readings, that looming Ten of Swords we had, okay, was referring to a choice that, if not done properly, it would be awful. And it seems that most of us did it properly, because now the energy shifted from, being in a state of obscurity, being in a state of insecurity. Now it does look like that the next couple of weeks are going to be very, very peaceful, okay, with no pressure whatsoever over things. In fact, it want to be so laid back that we get to turn our glance inward and kind of like indulge ourselves with the things that kind of like makes us happy, and indulge ourselves with our children, if we do have any, with our hobbies, addictions as well. And when I say addictions, for example, you probably know, guys, I'm addicted to video games. Maybe that's something I'm gonna do, right? Well, some of us could be addicted to sex as well. Who knows? I mean, but what makes us happy, we get to indulge it and kind of like also re-examine it as well. And how can I put it into words? Classify, not even classify, understand how fragile it is and that it needs nurturing. But it will serve us greatly if we do dive in the enjoyment of life, right? And enjoy life as life is. It's very good couple of weeks. Basically, how can I put it into words? We can do what we like for as far as it does affect us and only us. Okay. And one other thing, Scorpio, if you do have any choice to make, which is important, right? Kind of like you gotta choose where you want to go to travel, or you have to choose should you stay or go, and that kind of choices. Rest assured, the right option for you will become available with time and will become pretty obvious to you with time. All right, guys, couple of minutes. And after that, the last 4 star signs, and then the super chat. Anyone who supports the stream and the channel through super chat will have a reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed. Sean, thank you for the $20 US. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I am feeling much better now. All right. Sagittarius. Let's see what you have, guys. What we have, I have stellium there, so that will affect me as well. The death. Then it is the 4 of Cups. Then it is the 7 of Wands. 5 of Wands. 8 of Pentacles. So pretty specific, okay? Pretty specific. A lucky coincidence is going to reveal in front of us a very important detail that is gonna change the playing field, or kind of like the playing field, the playground is gonna change the playground, and the whole thing will kind of like unfold at the situation or at the environment that we are kind of like feeling we are alone against the world, right? We are with our back against the wall and we are fending hit after hit, and through, like I said, very lucky coincidences, that detail shows up, it flashes out, and oh boy, I mean, God help those that put us into that corner, because there will be no mercy, or at least that is how it looks like, right? So wherever you are thinking that the situation is hopeless, I mean, the future is going to prove you wrong about it. And all comes to that. Do you have the guts to take that chance? Or you're going to let it slip? It's up to you to decide. All right. Next, Capricorn. Nine of Wands, the Lovers, King of Wands, the Hierophant, Five of Cups, and I bet you're gonna love that one because those cards are showing it is that you are within the right, right? You are right about it. You're right about the situation, okay? You're right about the circumstances. You're right about almost flat down everything. And I don't know if that refers to connection you do have or relationship or just a situation, okay? But probably is gonna pain you to understand, but being right about it doesn't solve the issue, right? And it will fall to you to do it. And kind of like think of what you can make a compromise with, because that's what's gonna take here, okay? Because especially if we're talking about some kind of interaction, for example, in between you and your boss, right? You may be in the right, but it all comes to that how loyal you are and how reliable you are. Because if you aren't, doesn't matter how right you are, you still are gonna find yourself looking for work. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna be left hanging, because there will come time, not within the next couple of weeks, but there is gonna come a time where you can how can I put it into words, catch up with your righteousness and take back what you withheld in the next, or what you are to withhold in the next couple of weeks. So if you have to keep your mouth shut, right, and give a silent treatment to something, uh, just because you know your boss doesn't like it, it will come a situation where you will have an opportunity to shove it in their throat, right? And figuratively speaking, make them pay for it. But whatever you have as a direction and ambition, you definitely should not abandon it, even if currently your situation isn't exactly ideal to chase it down, right? It's just what the times are, and it seems that that's how it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. Of course, like I said, if you're willing to make compromise, you're definitely going to make things a bit easier on you, and you will be compensated in the future for that compromise you are to make. All right, next, Aquarius. Nine of Swords, the Devil, Three of Wands, Two of Wands, Two of Cups. All right. Something that started as a game recently. Well, it may not be that recently now. I do know Aquarius that I know what these cards are referring to, that Aquarius, and it was not that recently. Whatever started with the person I know, but whatever started as a game and you didn't put anything into it, now it's gonna grow very serious, and you will see that that's not a game, right? It's not a game anymore, and you will have to address the situation. Uh, I don't want to say with all of your attention, but definitely you should take the whole thing seriously. And let me see the cards again. And there is simply a lot of room to grow. Now, let me give you an example here. Let's say that you have started some kind of a side work, right? Just to kind of like get some extra cash. Not that you just really needed it, but let's say you had a time to kill and you just started that job, and a part-time job, and you don't put much into that job, or that job in the next couple of weeks is to grow to a serious extent. And in fact, from a part-time job, it could transfer into your full-time job, the primary source of you making money. Even better than that, let's say that you start kind of like flirting with someone. It's just for the shits and giggles, or at least up until now, but in the next couple of weeks things can grow very, very seriously. Or let's say someone told you, hey, let's kind of like start a business, and you didn't took the person seriously, right, back then. Now in the next couple of weeks, now the whole thing will start growing very, very serious. And when I say serious, I mean with a lot of potential. Okay. And whether you take it or not is entirely up for you to decide, but you will curse yourself if you don't try it, right? Because for what those cards are showing, there is a huge, tremendous potential in it. Okay, just so give the man or the woman a chance, right? Or the project, or the hobby, or the person, or the job. Just give them a chance. All right, and last but not least, we do have Pisces. Nine of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. The Empress. Five of Cups. All right, in the next couple of weeks, Pisces, it will feel like you are catching up with things. I don't know how to put it into words. Like the situations are one step ahead of you, all right? And you will feel like you are a victim of the whole circumstances. Our bottom line is that it will feel like the choices, all of the choices had been made for you, right? Well, you can't be more wrong about it, right? Because you have already made these choices, or rather, like you made the initiation into those choices, and now things are like a snowball. And thank God, you don't have to kind of like make the tough choices right now, because it seems that everything is gonna turn out exactly, not exactly, but it turned out as best as it could. That is what those cards are showing here. Well, there are going to be situations in the next couple of weeks which you are not going to be happy with, right? But in order it's all, how can I put it into words? It's all a sequence, okay? And in order to reach to the fantastic end, the sequence may contain um, disappointing circumstances or disappointing situations. Now, just because you reach a certain disappointing situation, that doesn't mean that you are in the wrong. It's just a part of the sequence. So you have already made your choices. Don't regret them and don't back off them. Just on the contrary, double down on those choices you have made, because they will lead you, for what those cards are showing, to an amazing end. Or they are to a amazing end. Yellow Magic, thank you for the $20 US. Are you in relationship or you are looking for love? That is important for me to know. So, because cards, they do interpret in a different way depending on your current situation in terms of love. So let me know. All right, super chat now. Hello, Diana. Hmm. Anyone who supported the stream through super chat or PayPal, you guys are gonna have your readings right now. Nicole Keating, I asked you about your inquiry to clarify. Do you want to know how likely it is your husband to get the job, or you generally want to check if he's gonna get promoted, okay, in the near future? Because I cannot tell you for certain is he gonna get that job. I can only tell you how likely it is, because Tarot cannot make choices for anyone, and him getting the job, that is decision of the one who is gonna hire him. So I will withhold your reading to the very end of today's stream, because you haven't answered me that inquiry for clarification of mine. You're welcome, Jen. Hey, Rocky, welcome to the stream. Long time no see. um Rocky, we're right at the super chat. I am just starting it. Yes, you can, of course. Thank you for the 28 Canadian. Thank you, Rocky. Let me put you into the list. All right. Yasmin, you go. You are going first. Well, I don't know, Rocky. I mean, I have headaches now whole week, okay? And I actually had to take a painkiller so I can make the stream tonight. But they are abating. I don't know what's causing them, right? But it seems that they are abating. Okay, Yasmin, let's see what you have. Those are your cards, Yasmin. Hold on a second. Unfortunately, I don't have my other system here, okay, in order to be more specific. So that will have to, I just forgot it. So that will have to do, okay. Hopefully it will make sense. So these are the cards for you, Yasmin. And what they refer to as, well, first of all, they are saying that everything, it's like entering into this new moon, okay? You are reaching a checkpoint and you cannot fall beneath it, right? So your job is sound and safe, right? Your love life is sound and safe. Your friendships are sound and safe, and that is good. But also, what will happen is that you are to be held accountable to everything you said. And if you had promised that, for example, you will do some extra hours after a shift in order to help, say, a coworker, you will be held accountable to it. You will be held accountable to the promises you gave, to the word you gave, to the contracts you signed, all right? And basically everything will be by the book in the next couple of weeks for you, to a point where it will feel like you are shackled. Definitely it will feel like that way. And in order to mitigate all that, it will serve you best if in your free time you kind of go wild. And when I say going wild, I mean kind of like do any enterprise that makes a difference. That will revitalize you tremendously. But bottom line is that there are certain, well, figuratively speaking, rules. Everything is going to be dappled with them in the next couple of weeks, and you will have to follow them by the book. But by the end, you will kind of like you will be very well rewarded for it. I hope that that makes sense. All right, next, Taco. You're welcome, Yasmin. So, Yasmin, for example, if you had signed up for something recently and you're wondering, is it worth it? Yes, definitely it is worth it. That could be you may have signed up for a friendship or for a romantic relationship, whatever the case. All right, Taco, what we do have, I mean, mate, your trend is continuing, right? And I feel bad that I can't give you much more from what I gave you last time, right? Those are your cards here, and they are double downing to a fixing some kind of interaction, some kind of connection, some kind of a relationship, right? The only thing that they give more is that the way that is going to happen, mate, it will be very mature, for a lack of better word, right? And for what those cards are showing, now that is not a certainty, but there is a way how all of the parties are gonna end up being happy with the result. So you're gonna be happy. Say the people that you're working with, if this is where it plays out, are gonna be happy. I know a situation in between you and your father. If this is the place where it takes, where these energies are taking place, then you and your father are gonna be happy with the outcome of that fixture, for a lack of better expression. Our next couple of weeks are gonna be weeks that are gonna make a huge difference. Okay. How you see your future, and once they end up, you are gonna freaking love it. And by the way, you may think that I'm crazy right now, but it does look like that you are gonna do the heavy lifting here, because it seems that you will change your lifestyle. I mean, you will definitely gonna change your lifestyle, and that will predispose the whole situation to become bearable, right? So it will feel like you aren't doing much about it, but you are. It's kind of like, it will feel like the whole thing is kind of like fixing itself on its own accord, and it is, but through you. Other than that, Taco, these are gonna be a couple of weeks deprived of problems for you. All right, next, Jasmine. You're welcome. The Hierophant. Actually, let me draw them all. Let's see what we have. Ooh. All right, those are your cards. All right, Jasmine, those cards are referring to a situation in your life where you are, how can I describe it? It's like you want to do your own thing, but everybody else who is involved in that situation are telling you that your own thing, it's not a thing, it's not a thing that should be done. You know, very well, the only thing that comes to my mind, it is these type of situations where two people are very fond of each other, but they're working together, and everybody is telling them, well, you shouldn't end up in a relationship if you are working together, because then both things are gonna fall apart. And it is true, and you will have to decide which way you want to have it. Okay. And according to these cards, you shouldn't lie to yourself. I mean, you very well know which way you should have it, or you want to have it. Okay. And that is just an example that I gave with the working situation. Okay. Could be completely different, a completely different kind of like narrative. But you very well know which way you want to have it. And you got to stick with it. I mean, you got to take on that direction. A quick hint here, the way you want to have it, it is the way that nobody wants you to have it. Okay, and screw the others. In fact, once you make that step, then a differentiation is going to be made where only people who are truly your friends and truly love you, only they will stick with you. The rest who are around you or with you from sheer benefit, they will drop off the table because there will be no benefit for them anymore. The only benefit is going to be for you. But once again, you got to be true to yourself, and you have to, you know the true diagnosis of your situation. You just have to recognize it. And these are the weeks where you can do something truly important and substantial for your life. Don't miss it. MD, thank you for the 31 Canadian, Australian, I'm sorry, Australian dollars. Sit tight a little longer and you're gonna have your personalized reading. All right, next, Sherry. Eight of Wands. Actually, I'm gonna draw them all. I don't know why I'm. Sherry, pretty chill. How can I put it into words? And when I say chill, I don't mean chilly. I don't mean chilly. All right, it's chill meaning laid back. Transit for you. Those are your cards. Okay, and what they show it is that next couple of weeks are the weeks where you can truly try the enterprises and the endeavors that you may think a bit crazy, but for what those cards are showing, you will be supported through them. What I mean is that, say, Sean is not gonna give you hell about it, okay? And we're talking about those kind of enterprises which are just temporary, not a permanent one. Okay, maybe you want to go to a concert, maybe you want to go to a party, or maybe you want to go skiing somewhere where you haven't been, and that's the point here. Okay, these are things you want to do but you never done before, and now in the next couple of weeks you will have your chance to do fair share of them. I mean big portion of them, and it's, according to these cards, highly advisable for you to do so. Highly advisable for you to do so. Doing it will revitalize, okay? It will revitalize your environment, your life, yourself, and also your lifestyle. And that's the whole point of the next couple of weeks, to make your lifestyle much better for experience. And in order to do so, you must be more in tune with the life and the way you want to have it. Down floors, yeah, of course. I mean, it's gonna be on a recording. You can watch it. Your reading is gonna be the very last one. Okay. If that's your thing. But don't get me wrong, Sherry, you wouldn't even have to try making the circumstances that surround those things. I mean, they will invite you. They're going to be inviting in the next couple of weeks. You just have to say yeah, and then just go on and experience the damn thing. All right, Sean, you're next. Sean, it's pretty specific reading for you. Those are your cards, okay? the next couple of weeks you will have a major offer, major proposition that you will think about it quite profoundly for what those cards are showing. Okay, it's going to be a big choice, and the longer you think, the longer you understand that it's just not right or wrong. Okay, what you are going to be proposed, should you take it or not, stands as, do I am I going to do what I like or what I want to, or rather like what I have to. Okay, am I going to do what I want to or what I have to? And like I said, no matter what you do, okay, it's going to be not indifferent, but without any polarity. So let me give you an example, Sean. Let's say you are looking for work, okay, and in the next couple of weeks, 2 proposals are coming your way, okay? One is a really well-paid job, a job that once you take it, you are not going to have to think about bills, mortgage, if you are paying such, right, or anything like that. Very well paid job. But it's a job you would hate to work. Okay, you are going to wake up every morning and you are going to hate yourself that you have to work that job. The other one is a job that's taking it, you will barely meet ends, right? Barely. But it's a job that you would freaking love working. You cannot take both, mate. I mean, you have to choose, are you going to do what you want to, meaning the job you would love to do but poorly paid, or what you have to, the job that it is well paid and that you are going to hate working. There is no right or wrong choice here. It all comes to that, what you can live with. Okay, and there isn't an advice in the cards. Well, I'm going to give it to you. Whether you're going to follow it or not depends on you. I mean, that is not me taking a decision. But what those cards are giving you as a guidance is to go for the one you want, right? It's just that way your choice will make more sense to you than the other. And you will regret it less if it comes to that. But I don't believe that it's going to come to that. And the other hint that we do have in the cards, it is the singularity, that at the end of the day, it's about you and no one else. All right, next, Yada be magic. And that with the jobs, that was an example. Your situation may be completely different. What do I need to know about my love life? Let me see. Okay, so you're dating but not in a relationship. Let's check it out. You're welcome, Sean. Those are your cards, okay? And according to them, it doesn't look like that the person you are dating right now, it's yet ready to make a commitment you require, right? It's just according to these cards, they well they cannot, or they are not like they cannot, they are not prepared to give you what you expect from a relationship, and they aren't prepared to do so because they don't know that that is what you request. So it will serve you best if you are brutally honest, okay, about your expectations and what you do require with that person, and whether they kind of like get themselves scared, right? So they show themselves being coward and walk away, or kind of like face it like a man and make a commitment. I cannot say. But what I can say is that by the end of the year, you're going to end up in a pretty stable relationship that has a tremendous potential to be a long lasting one, whether with that one or with another that you already know. All right, next, Rocky. Well, Rocky, pretty short one. Those are cards. And all that they do say, it is that you are going to find yourself being ready, okay? Uh, and they are referring to plans you make or preparations you are settling right now. And in the next couple of weeks, you will find yourself just ready, okay? That's one thing. And the other is that you will see that what you are preparing or planning, it's substantial. What I mean is that it has a huge value into it. Okay. You may be preparing to transform friendship into relationship, or maybe preparing to launch a business, all right, or maybe preparing to travel somewhere or to change places or to buy a home, whatever you are preparing that it is in the in the near future to take place, is going to take place in the next couple of weeks. Now, it could happen a bit premature, right? Maybe you're preparing yourself to buy a house. That is just an example, Rocky. Say you're preparing yourself to go for a mortgage and buy a home, right? And you're planning to do that in a couple of months. But suddenly, in the next couple of weeks, the perfect home shows up and it is there for the taking. So that will be your cue. And it's not like because I'm saying it right now, it is just the whole thing is going to be very compelling. I mean, you will recognize that that's your cue, and you will have that doubt that you may not be able to manage it, right? To manage, for example, to pay back the mortgage, or to kind of like sustain the business and so on and so forth, or carry on with the relationship if that's about relationship you're preparing. But you're wrong. You will able to manage. Now, if that gives you a hint, this is like a repetition. What I mean is that you had that situation before and things didn't end very well. I mean, the very least, they kind of like ended up in a neutral state. And you may be afraid that the history will repeat itself, like you will fail again or nothing is going to come out of it again. You're wrong, because now you are simply better. You have more experience. You have bigger um, you have bigger support, right? You have better skills. You are more mature, and all these kind of things. If you are planning or preparing yourself for it, yeah, definitely can be an expansion. Yeah, and one thing, it kind of seems um not like impossible, but very unlikely to happen, and yet you are preparing yourself for it. Well, it's going to happen. And again, next couple of weeks is the start of it. When it's gonna end, the whole process, I cannot say. I don't know. Not like I know and I can't. I just don't know. These cards are showing just the start of it. All right, MD, you're next. Oh, Miriam. All right. So, Miriam, you're next. Hold on a second. Oh, Pisces Moonbeam. Thank you for the 20 US dollars PayPal to me. Yeah, okay. Uh, well, guys, me and Pisces Moonbeam, you know, we are friends and we work together, and she has privileges. And I'm sorry, that's just how it goes. And her reading is going to be in private. So, but thank you, Pisces Moonbeam. All right, Miriam. Give me a minute. All right, there. Uh, that is such a wow. You know, guys, or Miriam, you know, there are times in life when you kind of like do the lost cause. You know, you do it anyway. Like, for example, you know that you're not going to get hired on that amazing job, but you apply anyway, right? But you aren't waiting for it. You are just carry on with your life and doing whatever, right? Um, or kind of like you send that text message that you love someone that is seemingly in a very, very happy relationship currently, and just want to take it off your chest, and you don't dare, hoping that they will kind of like reply and say, hey, let's go out, you know, and date and all these kind of things. Well, it's gonna work for you, and that will completely going to annihilate all the plans you do have right now for, well, the absence of plans even. It's gonna be completely, it's gonna be a complete shift. Yeah, it's gonna work for you. Oh my god. uh it's mm, well, it is awesome, yeah, but also it will make things very inconvenient for you. right? Because you are already into other things, right? Well, they aren't dreams because you forlorn about it, right? They aren't dreams because you did your part, but you ain't hoping for it. And you could have done your part, let's say, a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. You may have applied for that job 6 months ago and you never heard replay or reply, whatever. And now they are replying to you saying, hey, we didn't have a place back then, but now we do have a spot open. We do have a spot vacated. Do you want it? But you already started another job, so it's gonna be inconvenient, right? Um, yeah, it's you are gonna be flabbergasted. That's for certain. But I cannot say what it relates to. Okay, it could be a job or a relationship, whatever. But it will be very shocking when it works out for you. All right, Nicole, since you haven't replied to me, I'm just gonna check on how likely it is John to get the job. You're welcome. Those are the cards. It's a bit unlikely to get the place, Nicole. What those cards are showing it is this is the attitude of the people that are going to judge your husband, and in their mind, his application is not quite convenient. That's one, or enough slash ready for the thing. It is just they don't see things the same way he does, right? Just for example, if he's applying for a place in a law firm, okay, he may be an excellent lawyer, but it is just the way that law firm operates. It's not accustomed, or your husband isn't accustomed to the way that this law firm operates. So that said, okay, he's probably gonna be put on hold for now, and I'm saying for now. Now the worst that he can do is get himself discouraged by it, because if that position is not given to him at that job, another is going to be more than willing to give him that position. So he should just keep on trying. Now, if he gets approved, it's a bit concerning, because if that happens, then there is something shady going on and they may need a person to take the fall, right? So he have to be very careful what he's doing and go by the book, right? With everything, go by the book. No bribes, no kind of like shortcomings, no cutting corners, nothing. Everything has to be by the book. All right, and last but not least, we do have down floors, 30. All right. Those are your cards, down floors. I put it into words. Mm. Well, I don't know what they are relating to. It's just those cards are showing that within the next couple of weeks, you will do your job, right? These cards are saying that next couple of weeks is going to be the end of the slog. You are working hard for something. Say you're working hard to bring your relationship off the ground, or to bring your job off the ground, or to it's more like accomplishment that you are working toward very, very hard. And if not entirely complete, a huge milestone accomplished next couple of weeks. That gives you a room to breathe, right? And to think of something new to do, right? Some kind of a new direction, some kind of a new idea. It is just you are not going to be that stressed any longer. But rest assured, all the important details, all the important aspects addressed and flawlessly managed by you, right? So just to give you an example, if you do have a relationship you're working very hard toward, very likely to happen, or you're working toward acquiring a client, very likely to happen, you're working toward kind of like settling, again, very likely to happen. It is just your hard work bears fruits next couple of weeks. All right, guys. I think that that's gonna be for tonight. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'm just speechless. Thank you, and hopefully I haven't disappointed you with your personalized super chat readings. And we're gonna see each other next time. Until then, bye.